put me in the game. Don't play with my name, you come with your goons, I'm bringing my game. All of that talking just sound like a show, I'm just letting you know that I'm not entertained. You hear the crowd, they screaming my name, I got the stadium going insane. Done with the talking, it ain't no discussion, you started, I finished, put me in the game. Put me in the game. Yeah, put me in the game. All of that talking just sound like a show, I'm just letting you know that I'm not entertained. Hey coach, put me in the game.
It's that heat, boy.
Yeah, my day ones here to dance at the beginning. So you know it's only right, that's how we eat it. Came all the way from losing to winning. Yeah, I did it. But it ain't just me, it's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no I in this. It's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no I in this. Tell them line it up. Like a 4th and 1, we sneaky when we slide them. Y'all on offense with no defense, now y'all time is up. We make the hits, y'all take the hits, and now we fired up. 3, 2, 1, don't need no break. Hut 1, hut 2, get it straight, that's how I like it. And we grind it every night to make it hit, now it's exciting. See, they just getting cake, they ain't never gonna get no ice. And all we want is chips, ring fingers looking ice. My day ones here to dance at the beginning. So you know it's only right, that's how we end it. Came all the way from losing to winning. Yeah, I did it.
It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Today we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Buffalo Bills and the Philadelphia Eagles. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. They find some open field here. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one good for 33 and a first. They had a chance to limit his yardage, but he was able to fight off that tackle.
So it's not just the responsibility of the guys who missed the tackles along the way. It's all leaning on defense, able to stop this guy, unable to do it on that play. They've got to find a way. How about his ability to break through and gain that yardage?
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Allen going to throw. He's going to air one out. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
That could have been a huge play, but give the defender credit. Stayed calm, stayed collected, and kept himself in a position to make a play on the ball without a penalty.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. On play action, Allen. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us for their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Now 2nd and 5. Snap will come from the 6. They'll give to Cook on the read option. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. James Cook, his 8th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bills are on the board first here this afternoon. First quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
An extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. It didn't take long to see our first penalty of the game, did it?
We always talk about everyone wanting to get into the game in a hurry. The officials did as well.
A very costly holding penalty. It backs them up all the way inside their 10 to start this drive. On first down, Hurts. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting him to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to
try for Brown, and it's intercepted. And the Bills are going to take possession of the football. Charles, that makes now 5 interceptions in not even 5 quarters. Remember, he threw 4 picks last week.
And this turns into a tough situation because a lot of fans, the first thing is, oh, well, we need to change quarterbacks. This is your guy. This is your elite player. You can't just take him out like that. If I'm the coach, I make a little joke and say, you know something, big guy? We're going to change the football. So it's obvious that's the problem. It's not you. Keep firing.
54 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
They'll run with Cook. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. James Cook with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Bills have taken a 13-0 first-quarter lead. So 2 drives, 2 touchdowns here in this first quarter, and he's got both of them.
Well, he's certainly setting himself up for a big game here, and I think if the play caller doesn't get in his own way, They should keep riding him the entire way of this game. Until the defense proves they can stop him, that's what I would call it.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0.
Tyler Bass with the kickoff for Buffalo.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game? I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. And again, it's Chubb. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage, but it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force, and they had that.
Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Jair Elam makes a pick, and the Bills are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield.
Well, they're certainly not giving much up to their defense, are they? Because for the 2nd time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Tap forward by Allen on the jet sweep. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bills are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that makes the score 21-zip.
21. Eagles nothing. Tyler Bass for the kickoff.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with it. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Going out wide, finds Chubb. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
And that's a good job there by the corner. And we do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, short tackle.
And he'll get about 3 here up to the 44-yard line.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
They'll run for it. Chubb. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. They're able to keep the drive alive. 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll roll him out right. And this is caught by Watkins. And he'll wind up getting this to the 32. A play that started at the 16, and that's how many yards they get. 1st down.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Chubb on the read option. Oh, he bowls over him. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 68 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this 1st half.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
They'll run with Chubb. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal.
Well, you don't have to stretch for this one. This is 4-down territory. They've got to get it in with the deficit that they're facing.
Absolutely. It's not the 4th quarter, but still. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Nick Chubb punching it in from a yard away. And the Eagles get a bit closer. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. It's up, it's good, and that'll cut the lead to 21-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their fourth possession. Touchdowns on their first three possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So, to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Option play. Here's Cook. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Third down, here's a run by Cook. And some room to work. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. James Cook on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Bills have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
Eagles 7. Tyler Bass to kick off for Buffalo.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill.
There he goes, left side. Touchdown. Quez Watkins, 75 yards. And the Eagles are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Elliott on for the extra point. It's up and good, and it's now 28-14. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And the Eagles are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning them into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
No gain on the play.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And Hurts is intercepted, his third of the game. Picked up by Jordan Poyer. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Not a huge play, but I think they're more than happy with how it turned out. Don't be surprised to see them revisit that call, because there was a lane there for more than just 5 yards. Put it in your back pocket and break it out when you need it later.
Trying to lay one up deep. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Bills. A great effort there as the first half is winding down. And the Bills will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
Right there, Hurts.
To throw again on second down. Hurts. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Bills are going to take possession of the football. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. A final shot before half for Allen. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Gabriel Davis in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bills continue to pull away here in this first half. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Cut, ready?
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. It's the Eagles ready to see the football first, and they trail here as we resume action in this third quarter. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, Let's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Hurts throw there, taken in by Smith. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. A gain there of 21 yards. So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 32-yard line. They go up the middle with Chubb. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job.
Touchdown, Eagles! Quez Watkins with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Eagles are able to cut into that deficit. Elliott good with a PAT, and that'll cut the lead back down to 21. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You can say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more.
That's caught inside the 20. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. So there is the big arm of Josh Allen on display. He can throw it as deep as anybody, and that was an absolute laser. And he's got his tight end Knox for a Bills touchdown. From 17 yards out, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Hurts connecting there with Brown for the Eagles first.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. They'll throw on first down with Hurts. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Hurts throw complete here to his receiver, Brown.
Hurts pass complete to A.J. Brown. A gain of 14 yards brings up third down.
A nickel back added defensively as they look to stop this 3rd and 8. Throwing is Hurts. He'll get this to Chubb out of the backfield. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker. Running for it, here's Chubb. And boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Bills are going to take over in excellent field position. First down, here's the run with Cook. Trucks over him. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. 156 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Now Allen. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Give the sack to Fletcher Cox.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Give to Cook out of the gun. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Caught the defense off guard there a bit on 2nd and long, but now you still have to deal with 3rd and long.
Yeah, you do, but you feel pretty good about the last play, don't you? And maybe it gives you a little bit of confidence dialing up the next one that maybe your team will believe in it when you send it in.
On 3rd and long, it's Allen. And that is incomplete.
I thought that was a completed pass until he came in and forced the ball from his hands. Not only did he make a nice play, he brings up 4th down.
And he missed it. It's no good. But that's just a minor blip here in what's been a thoroughly dominating performance.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
Here we go.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played.
He's got a man complete. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Quez Watkins, 53 yards. And the Eagles get a bit closer. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this 3rd quarter. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 16. Off play action. Allen. Forced out to his left. That sack courtesy of the effort of Hassan Reddick.
Oh, boy, he got a favorable spot there. The guys on the sidelines were raising their hands over their head and clasping their hands to signal safety. But the official marked it just outside the end zone at the 1-yard line.
After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. In his own end zone, it's Allen. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever. Uncorks one for Davis. They've got his man complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. Von Miller, a milestone sack for him as it moves him past Hall of Famer Lawrence Taylor, who finished his career with 132 and a half.
Check. Hey, check that. Street. Ready?
Another try after the first down sack. Hurts. Quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And my goodness, another interception. Teron Johnson able to pick it. And he is going to score. It's a pick 6 and a Bills touchdown. Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping to hold a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not where they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Facing a big 4th quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled. 99 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
2nd down, here's Chubb again. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
They have the first down with that gain of 4 yards.
But sometimes, Brent, there's just not a secret to how things get done. He's been running well all game long, and they continue to rely on him in this key situation.
They told us they were going to rely on him. They have. He comes through there, a big third down conversion. They run it again with Chubb. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Off the play fake, here's Hurts. And he rifles one incomplete.
We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
And he's got his man. It's the tight end Goddard. And he's got a first down as a tackle made at the Bills' 33. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. 25 yards that time. He delivers another to Goddard, complete. And he'll get this to the 22. So they began the play at the 11, and it's a gain of 11. First down.
Come on. 19 Chargers.
Now they return to the ground game. Chubb. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Probably wishing that they could have had a few runs like that earlier in the game, now facing this deficit in the fourth.
Hard to criticize a run of that magnitude, but they really need those types of runs to go the distance and need bigger plays to try and get back into this one.
They run again on first down, Chubb. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
2nd down and goal. Hurts dancing to his left. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Oh, I was just about to say he hadn't missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
Well, they don't need to score here, that's for sure. They could just kneel it. They've got the huge lead late fourth quarter, but we'll see how they're feeling, Charles.
Yeah, we all know people out there who like to use every second of the clock, no matter what the score. And we know they don't need the points. They've scored in abundance already. Let's find out how they want to finish this ball game.
Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep.
This is caught inside the 15. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Bills, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Seattle Seahawks.